Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and in this video, we're going to be breaking down the Salomon Malamute double boa, one of the stiffest boots in their lineup, and one of the boots that's been in their lineup under the Malamute name for a long time. Now, some of you might say, this is the stiffest boot in the world. It is not. It has lost that title. Now, remember, the best boot is the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. So if it doesn't fit your foot or fit your needs, it's not the boot for you. And if you are shopping online, which we strongly recommend against for buying boots, we do have affiliate links down in the description below. Otherwise, go into your local shop, slap them a high five, and say we sent you. When it comes to the shell of the Malamute, you got a lot of rubber in this thing. You've got this double stitch seam that covers this rubber that comes down here and comes back. This section right here may cause a little bit of a pinch point for some people if you're really cranking your toe ladder down. Just be aware of that. There is a lot of TPU though in this shell, so this should give you a lot of rebound and take longer to break down. You do have a single stitch seam here as well as around the eyelets for the boa cable, but with the amount of rubber on this should protect it. The ankle articulation is very minimal, and you're going to notice that it actually causes the boot to bulge until it breaks in because it's more of a vertical, minuscule articulation. You're going to have some issues with that. I think this seam is actually going to become a failure point. It's just something I've seen over the years. On the back spine, you got a couple things going on. You've got this urethane right here, and this comes up almost all the way to the top, and then you've got this wrap right around it. This is going to give you more rebound. You're going to be able to push back on your heel edge and feel this just give you a little bit more spring and snap. When it comes to the tongue of this boot, it's actually pretty malleable, and most of its rigidity is actually coming from the boa cable. So that is just something that you need to be aware of. Inside the bottom of the boot, you do have heat reflective tape, so any heat that is escaping from the liner will be reflected back into it. It does keep your feet warmer. The sole on this boot is Salomon's Mountain Goat Contra Grip rubber. It's beefy. This is more rigid. You're not going to have as much feel underneath. So if you're hoping for more feel, not going to happen. Now, if you want less feel because you've got foot issues, this is solid. You'll also notice that you've got a ton of foam right there under that sole. This is also going to help dampen impacts. This boot is designed to make sure your feet are not getting destroyed if you come down hard and aggressive. As this is the Malamute double boa, you get two boas, one on the top of the tongue and one on the side. What you're going to get is dual zones, so that side one controls the lower. You've got eyelets. So this will guide it, this will help protect it. It also just helps pull it a little bit tighter. And then you got this upper one here for tightening the upper. With the dual zone boa, you can kind of customize how you want that to fit and feel for yourself. Inside the shell, you have the precision harness, so you can kind of adjust this over your instep, and the actual harness is sewn into the shell. It does go a little bit higher and a little bit lower. This is going to lock your free floating liner down into the shell to give you a tighter fit. All right, we're about halfway through this video. Why don't you go give it a thumbs up? You know you want to. Do it. I dare you. You won't. And while you're down there, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead, do it. Click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the programming we have out for you. Yeah, programming. That's what we do around here. The Malamute features Salomon's precision liner, and this is beefed up. I do recommend getting this heat molded to help expedite the break-in process. You got multiple densities of foam in there, and you got some cool things. So at the top, it's more of a neoprene cover with softer foam in there. So for those of you that have a bigger cankle or calf that pushes out at the side, this is going to help you there. And then the tongue has a lot of padding to it, and it actually has some nice rigidity. So when you crank that internal harness down, you're not going to feel it pushing into your shin when you drive into the boot. On the back of the boot, you've got this external butterfly wrap right there. This is malleable. So this is like going to have a little bit more give when you really tighten it down. And it works in conjunction with the very, very aggressive heel pocket on this. This is a very tight heel pocket. Like, this is going to grip your Achilles and really hold you down. So those of you with a narrower ankle that want a stiffer boot, this is something to definitely consider. At the front of the boot, you do have that seam across the top, but it doesn't come down on the side. And with it not coming down the side, those of you that have a sensitive pinky toe aren't going to feel it. You do have that side seam, but that's set back a little further. Most of you shouldn't actually notice that. This boot features their Relief footbed. This is their best footbed. It's still crap. It's not going to give you any arch support. There's no heel pocket cupping, anything like that. Basically, you ride more than 10 days a year, replace this. You will thank me in the long run. All right, let's give you guys some measurements. Measuring this at the forefoot at the widest portion, starting on the 1 inch mark. This comes out to just a few millimeters shy of 5 inches, so it's just under 4 inches. So it is a little bit narrower in the forefoot. That heel is very tight and aggressive. So this is your standard tight V-shaped liner. This is a size 9.5 US or 27.5 Mondo point. We're going to measure this at the rear, and it comes to about 10 3/4 in the back, and at the front it's about 10 1/2. Measuring this 9.5 at the rear, this piece comes up just past 12 inches. At the front, it's right around 11. This is a 9.5, and the sole length of this comes in just under 12 inches. It's about 11 3/4. Measuring this at the forefoot at the widest section, starting on the 1 inch mark, we're looking at this coming out to 5 1/4, so that's 4 1/4 inches wide. Like what we're doing? Want to support us further? Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. All right, here's my personal thoughts on the Malamute double boat. It looks like a boot from 10 years ago. Like they're trying to compete with what has happened. And years ago, this had the title of the stiffest boot on the market. It doesn't have it anymore. The Kita APX from Nidecker is stiffer. The Battalion Acid double boa is stiffer. The Ride Insano is stiffer. The K2 Thraxis is stiffer. It's still a stiff boot. I'm not denying that. But there's things going on with it that I'm like, hey, you should probably change some of this to really tweak it. And with the technology that Salomon has, this should be a triple boa boot. It should have straitjacket on it as well. You just need to beef up the boot. The liner, little bit lacking compared to other boots out there as well. Now, this is a narrower boot, so if you've got a narrow heel and a narrower forefoot and you want something that's going to be more aggressive that you can drive into, yeah, that's not a bad option. But by and large, I don't think Salomon has the mantle that they used to have, and they kind of need to bring that back a little bit. All right, so we went through the Malamute double boa. Hopefully you've learned what the features are, what you can kind of expect from this boot, and who we'd recommend it for. If you're not feeling this boot, go watch one of our other boot breakdowns. And if you're looking for a snowboard, well, why were you watching a boot video? Go watch one of our snowboard reviews instead.